he's doing good. As you can see, he's a slow grower. They don't grow as fast as crocodiles. You know, there's a caiman species, and this species specifically, the smooth front caiman, they only get upwards to 6 feet long. They're almost the smallest species of caiman. The smallest species is actually Cuvier's dwarf caiman. So, Senor Pepe is doing really good. Big, beautiful Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. Love him, and I can't wait for him to be in a bigger enclosure so you guys can see him in his look at that beast of a rattlesnake. So this is something that might be familiar to you guys if you guys have been a part of the channel for the past year and a half. This right here is a mangrove snake. They're found in Southeast Asia. They are a badass species of rear-fanged snake, reaching upwards to 8 feet long. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to my wildlife. I'm here at the Everglades Outpost in my snake room, and I'm just hanging out with my baby Ziggy, doing as good as ever. You can see I can just rub his teeth. I can touch him all over without any issues of getting bit. Touch him on top of the snout. Give him kisses all day, and he loves it, or he tolerates it, however you want to put it. So, I would like to give you guys a cool reptile update because there's a lot of stuff going on in here. I've been moving cages around. I got some snakes that are now on display that weren't on display before. So let's get into it and see what's going on in the reptile house. So first things first, Ziggy and I have to go check on the Lacey's. They're over here. They've been eating like crazy. Today is a fasting day because you don't want to feed them every day. Reptiles are not really supposed to eat every day of their life unless they're very young and they're digesting lots of food to grow. Usually when it comes to crocs and monitor lizards, they're going to eat a good meal a couple times a week or maybe just once a week, and then sometimes in the wild they can go months without food, living off the fatty reserves in their body and their tails. They're incredible creatures. Let me just put Ziggy down so I can show you guys what's going on with the rest of the gang. Ziggy, stay. Good. So here we have the oh so beautiful Jack. He's an awesome Bell's phase lace monitor. This is actually a naturally occurring morph out in the wild, so it's not something that's bred, you know, sibling to sibling, and then you keep getting these morphs because that's usually how it goes. You take a morph and you breed it to its siblings that carry that gene. So I do not want to do that in any way, shape, or form. What I like about these guys is they're a naturally occurring morph out in the wilds of eastern Australia, found all over the east coast of Australia. So Jack is a badass little species of monitor lizard, and as you guys know, I've wanted lace monitors, let alone a Bell's phase lace monitor, since I was a little kid, a preteen looking for a cool monitor lizard. But obviously they're not readily available in America because they're only found in Australia. So it's taken a 30-year breeding project to actually produce captive bred born babies here in the US, which Brian Waterloo was successful with. And what's really cool is soon in the future, he's going to be sending me another Bell's phase lace monitor, actually I believe this summer when it hatches out, because he knows I really appreciate this species and I love working with monitors, let alone lace monitors. What, are you going to tear up this camera? Huh? Don't tear up the camera. You're going through the camera. Man, I wish we had a second camera so you guys could see this. So Jack's doing really good, and as you can see, it just takes a little bit of time to hang out with him, let him realize that I'm not trying to hurt him. I just want to hang out. I want to socialize him, give him scratches, just want to be his friend. Such a beautiful animal. And he's constantly shedding because he's growing, but you can see, still as beautiful as ever. Black and white pattern, and then that jack-o'-lantern face right here, the smile with the eyes. Such a cool. Let's see what Lacey's doing. Can I go back? There you go. Alright, this is Lacey. He's a pooper. He's a little stinker, as you can see. He pooped all over me. He's a very, very beautiful lace monitor. And what's really cool about even the normal lace monitors is they come in different localities, just like snakes and other reptiles. So you'll actually have like a Sydney sandstone wash, and it's just yellow and black stripes like a tiger. You want to go back? Pooped all over me, scratched me up. I still like him though, and Brian Waterloo did warn me this is the messiest lizard you're ever going to work with. Enough of these lizards, Ziggy. I think I've had enough. You ready, Ziggy? Let's go look at some other animals. Let me just wash my hands. I don't want to touch you after getting pooped. I'll be back. Come here, little stinker. Love you. So, as you guys know from the last video, the fly row turtles. Yes, turtles. We have multiple turtles now. Finita, the female right here, looking beautiful. And then we have Finn, my original male fly row turtle I've been raising for the past year. They're both looking awesome. And in the future, they will be helping out their wild populations by captive breeding, hopefully in 5-8 years. It's going to take a while for these turtles to be sexually mature. So we'll see what happens, and maybe I can get some more fly river turtles in the future and start breeding them. Now let's see, I moved my crocodilians around. I got my smooth front right here, Blue. You guys know him and love him. I'm actually going to stick, let me see, let me put Ziggy somewhere. Ziggy, I'm going to stay here. Don't move. Stay. Stay. So right in here, watch your face, Ziggy. Right in here, we got our little beauty blue Paleosuchus trigonatus. Beautiful little smooth front caiman, and he's actually the original crocodilian I got under my Class 2 permit for crocodilians here in Florida. He's doing good. As you can see, he's a slow grower. They don't grow as fast as crocodiles. You know, this is a caiman species, and this species specifically, the smooth front caiman, they only get upwards to 6 feet long. They're almost the smallest species of caiman. The smallest species is actually the Cuvier's dwarf caiman, which in the future we'll get. But right now I'm just waiting for some captive bred babies, so hopefully you guys will see those guys in the future. But for now, we got this beautiful smooth front caiman. What's so unique about them is all their spiky osteoderms, the bony plates for protection, that rides all the way down nearly onto their belly. So they're completely armored crocodilians. Badass. I love them. They're beautiful, faithful, many sharp teeth. Easily capable of crunching down crustaceans, small reptiles, and fish. Right? He's got that very dark, leafy tone to him because they live in the rainforest, in the swamps, where there's lots of leaf litter, so that's great camouflage. And you get beautiful Ziggy over here, who's got that light skin color because they're found on the mangroves and white sandy beaches here in Florida, because they live such a good life. And if you look under Ziggy, you can see we have the male Bushmaster right here. He's out, he's doing really good, probably real hungry. We're gonna do a Bushmaster feeding video pretty soon. Ziggy, let me take you with me. We gotta go with more stuff. Let's see, what else? We got the eyelash vipers here. They're doing really good, eating like crazy, growing. Flat-nosed pit vipers. Over here we got Bruce the broad snout. When was the last time you guys have seen Bruce? It's been like, I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks. Here you go, Ziggy. Stay there. Sit. He's a little beast, and he does need an update pretty soon for his enclosure. I want to get him in deeper water so he can use all his muscles, his big tail, that big rudder-like tail to swim. Looking like a beast. Look at him. His colors are extremely impressive. He actually is a very light white tone. I've been raising him inside this white tub, which is really interesting because if you raise a crocodilian in a white tub versus a black tub, it will actually make them become a whiter tone or a lighter coloration. There's actually a little study done on saltwater crocodiles. They took 2 hatchling saltwater crocodiles and they took one, stuck it in a black bin, took the other, stuck it inside a white bin. They raised them for 3 months separately, and they found that the crocodiles actually adapted to the coloration they were living in, to the environment they were living in. So the crocodile raised in the white tub almost ended up looking like a white crocodile, a white saltwater croc, and then the other one looked like a normal saltwater croc with dark tone to match the dark terrain it's living in. So it's really interesting how reptiles can adapt to their environment. Like Ziggy! Ziggy, you could have been like a big mean crocodile, but instead you're my baby. I love you. We're going to have to move you again because we have more stuff to show off. Where are you going to sit now? You want to sit right here? You're going to sit and watch, okay, Ziggy? This guy has venom, so you can't get too close for this. In here, we have our lovely Senor Pepe. Let's see how he's doing. Look at him. He's laying flat, curled up around the bottom of the holding receptacle we've got him in right now. So I moved him out of his old enclosure because the Everglades Outpost actually owns that big enclosure and I wanted them to have it for their diamondback, and he's going to be moved into a new vision cage. So I have him inside this can for right now. I'm going to be setting up his vision cage later today, but I'm sure you guys would love to see him. Let me grab that snake hook right off you and I can show you guys how good he's doing. He's looking like a beast. He's got major size on him. Come here. Senor Pepe. Hello, Pepe. There we go. Senor Pepe, look how big and beautiful this rattlesnake is. Stay away from Ziggy. It has very acute heat-seeking pits, so always got to keep myself out of the range of those pits and not become a target. But you can see he's a beast. He's been shedding like crazy, growing, eating. He's got a big, beautiful rattle on him now, as you can see on his tail. Look at that. Beast of a rattle. Oh, getting a little bit defensive now. Look how big this rattle is. Such a beast of a snake. So he's doing really good. He's going to get an update. Ziggy! It's fine, Ziggy! Ziggy ran off. Sorry, Ziggy! So, Senor Pepe is doing really good. Big, beautiful Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. Love him, and I can't wait for him to be in a bigger enclosure so you guys can see him in his awe. Look at that. Beast of a rattlesnake. crazy. This is just one long spine with ribs and a skull. That's why you gotta be very gentle when handling something like this. Obviously, always use tools and be careful when handling venomous reptiles if you're in this kind of career. But whenever you see me do something silly or dangerous like this, remember I've been doing this since I was a little kid and handling wildlife, working at different wildlife parks. It's basically all I've ever done my whole life. So, never replicate anything you see me do on my show. Let's put Mr. Pepe into this holding receptacle. There we go. And he's gonna get an update soon, or an upgrade soon for his enclosure. Here we go. Let's go see what happened to Ziggy. Ziggy got spooked. He's like, that rattlesnake too big! And he left. Sorry about this, Ziggs. So, you guys can see we've moved a lot of the snakes out. One of the last videos, you see we put the monocled out. The Egyptian Pharaoh, we put him out as well. We got Mr. Brown, Childish Gambino, the Eastern Diamondbacks, which keep flipping their water bowls. And for the next animal, Ziggy, stay, sit, be good, don't move, stay, good boy. For the next animal, as you can see, in this enclosure we have a lot of water. And what animal loves water? But the green anaconda. Look at this. Beautiful baby green anacondas. A lot of you guys have been asking for an update on these guys. I finally upgraded these guys to a vision cage so they can have a big total water. And we got the other one right here. He's doing good too. So these guys are a little bit finicky when eating, but they're starting to do a lot better. I got them on display so when you guys come to the snake house, you can see them in the water hanging out. They're doing really good, and like I've said in the past, these are both females. So that means in the future, when they're huge, big female green anacondas, they're gonna be nice and tame, which is very important. A lot of green anacondas in captivity are quite nippy, especially when they're young like this. So for me to have two very docile green anacondas is really awesome. I love them. I've always loved this species, and to have two babies to raise up is stellar. Look at that. Such a beautiful species. I think the yellow anacondas are very, very pretty, but also the greens have their own very unique coloration, that swampy tone to them, the saddling of spots, yellow and black. They're a beautiful species. Well, it's very, very iconic. There's almost the reddish-orange cheeks they have right on the sides of their eyes. Such a cool species of snake. Hopefully one day they're going to be behemoths, reaching upwards to 16, 18 feet long, easily capable of overpowering a caiman or other crocodilian rodents. They'll be able to take down capybaras very large. Very large. Right, Ziggy? I love you, Ziggy. What else should we show off, Ziggy? Let me see. We got the Jordan's pit viper right here. If you look into the enclosure in that corner, you can see that he's hanging out right at the bottom, doing good. Power, eating everything that comes into the enclosure. So he's growing, shedding, getting nice and big. I love that species of viper. The Eastern Diamondbacks, the young ones are doing good. And then we've got the Pygmy Rattlesnake that I've had for quite some time now, growing like a weed, looking real chunky. Might need to go on a little diet. Also known as a ground rattler, because the only way to hear that snake rattle is to actually get so close to the ground because the rattles are so tiny. Not even an actual rattlesnake. They're actually in a subfamily. Citrus, or let me see. Sister. Anyways, so everyone's doing pretty good. Black-headed python down there, he's on paper towel. I'm constantly having to change it because he flips his water bowl. But that's okay, that's okay. It comes with the animals, you know? Ziggy, you want to come down? You want to come down, big boy? Come here. I love you. So, over here, we've got the puff adders. They're on the bottom. We got the Colette snake on the cage above. They're going to get lighting soon. We're going to get them on tables. And then, of course, we have the kings, the beautiful kings. They're chilling right now. We're going to have to do a feeding video pretty soon. We got Justina right here. She shed not too long ago. She's ready for a meal. Looking gorgeous. Love her. And then Kevin down here, hanging out. He's a beast. He's ready for a good meal too. So we'll have a King Cobra feeding video coming out pretty soon. Right? Look at your favorite. Ziggy's your favorite. Kevin. Ziggy doesn't like Kevin. He's scared of Kevin. So anyways, oh, one last thing I want to show you guys. Come check this out. All right, Ziggy's put away. Good to go. This is a really cool species of snake. Let's get a little low. Let's get a little low right here so you can see. So this is something that might be familiar to you guys if you guys have been a part of the channel for the past year and a half. This right here is a mangrove snake. They're found in Southeast Asia. They are a badass species of rear fang snake, reaching upwards to 8 feet long, beautiful rear fang venomous. And this individual looks to be maybe a wild caught, just because it looks like he might have, oh, don't bite me. It actually looks like he might have some scars from being out in the wild. So this definitely looks like a wild-caught snake. It was actually a surrender to the Everglades Outpost, so now belongs to the Everglades Outpost. We have him inside the snake room, where he's going to be on display in a big, beautiful Exoterra setup, and we'll do that setup video in the future. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. So that is something we can all look forward to. Woo! And yes, they're rear fang venomous. Their venom cannot kill me unless I'm allergic, but I'll tell you what, it will be very irritating and it will make you swell, so you do not want to experience the bite. They basically have to chew the venom in, and with those primitive fangs, it takes quite some time to actually give a good dose of venom. So when they find something like a frog or a fish in the wild, they sit there and they chew for 20 minutes or so to actually give a good dose. Look at it. You gonna bite me? You gonna bite me? Don't bite me. Can we be friends? Beautiful snake. You can see just a little bit of rub right on the tip of the snout, but that's not going to be an issue as long as the snout eats, get some size on him, he'll shed a couple times and I'll go away after some time. You're going to bite me now. I thought we were being friends. We were being friends. They have an amazing display of gaping. I've actually found a mangrove snake out in the wild of Thailand, and it was actually a morph. So whereas you see this pattern going straight down the spine completely as a tiger pattern, those stripes, I found one of these that looked like a pinstripe mangrove snake, meaning instead of stripes going downwards, all it had was crazy scribbles of yellow going down the body. Insane. So you guys can look back at that, check it out. Really cool species to find out in the wild, and I'm really happy to have one of these on display here at the house. Now, it might look like he's super malnourished, but actually with the spine of the Boiga species, mangrove snakes, they have a spine that sticks out just a little bit, kind of like a crate. So this snake isn't super underweight. That's actually a natural look to have a little bit of raised spine. Super cool snake. I'm very excited to set this guy up in the museum so you guys can see him up close. This is actually like an iconic reptile species for a lot of people growing up loving reptiles. Because in all the reptile books, you'd see mangrove snakes S-ing up with their mouth wide open. Big, beautiful yellow and black snake. Iconic reptile of Southeast Asia. I love them, and hopefully you'll do nice and well here at the Everglades Outpost on display. Isn't that right? Here at Snakes of the World. Look at that face. What's up, huh? You want to give me a bite, did you? All right, beautiful people, stay beautiful, stay gangster, and most of all, I'll see you on the next one.